you guys, we're going to do another Smart Words Reader, Extreme Survival. We'll do the introduction in Chapter 1, and then the next video we'll have Chapters 2 and 3. Introduction, Extreme Adaptations. It's nearly impossible to imagine a whale living in a desert or a giraffe living at the North Pole. Every animal's features fit the habitat or natural environment where it lives. Over millions of years, animals have changed to better survive in their environments. This gradual change is called adaptations. All animals, including humans, adapt. The best adapted animals live and produce offspring like themselves. These little changes in their bodies or their behaviors are passed on from generation to generation. The better the animals adapt to their environments, the better they survive. Some environments, however, have extreme conditions. They might be very cold, very hot, or very dark. Can animals live in such extreme places? Polar bears survive in the freezing Arctic. Rattlesnakes and horned lizards thrive in the hot and dry Death Valley. And lesser-known animals like the blind cavefish survive in the darkest corners of caves in Mexico and other places. What is their secret to survival in extreme habitats? Extreme adaptations. So here are some pictures of empire penguins, and they clump together, and it's just the men watching eggs and taking care of themselves to try and generate body heat. It's crazy. Chapter 1, Deep Freeze. What are the coldest habitats on Earth? They are at the ends of the Earth, the areas around the North and South Pole. Animals can survive in these freezing places, and many do. They have adapted to the low temperatures, cold winds, and snow and ice of Earth's polar regions. The Arctic is in the area north of the Arctic Circle, where the North Pole is at its center. At the North Pole, the Arctic is a thick layer of ice floating on frigid water. The annual mean temperature at the North Pole is -40 degrees in the winter. Winds average 16 miles per hour. Polar bears live in the Arctic as well as other land mammals. Sea mammals, birds, and fish like the Arctic fox, the beluga whale, and the snowy owl. The continent of Antarctica is roughly the size of the United States and Mexico combined over the South Pole. It is even colder and windier than the Arctic. The annual mean temperature at the South Pole in winter is -76 degrees. Ooh! The average winds are 57 miles per hour. Antarctica is home to many penguins as well as marine mammals, fish, and birds like the leopard seal pictured on. You'll see it on here in just a minute. The killer whale and the chinstrap penguin. Whales and seals live on both ends of the earth. These sea mammals have a special kind of fat called blubber. This adaptation to a cold habitat helps animals by storing food energy, insulating body heat, and keeping them afloat in the water. Some whales have blubber that is more than a foot thick. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to show you, this is a walrus, and then up in the corner is the seal. Big white bears. Polar bears have many adaptations that help them survive in their extreme Arctic habitat. The big white bears are masters of camouflage. Their thick fur ranges in color from creamy yellow to pure white and blends in perfectly with Arctic snow. and ice. The only part of the bear that stands out against the snow is its black nose. Legend has it that when hunting for prey, the polar bear covers its nose with a white paw. Polar bear fur is made of 2 layers, a soft, fuzzy undercoat and a long, stiff guard hair or outer coat. Both kinds of fur are colorless, but appear white when reflecting light. The bear's skin is actually black to absorb more of the sun's heat. For its huge size, the polar bear has a very small tail and tiny little ears. Why? Well, it decreases body surface and heat loss. But the polar bear has big paws. Each is almost 12 inches across. That's an entire ruler, you guys. The large paws distribute its weight across ice. Sort of works like snowshoes. And when polar bears swim, those big paws make great paddles for moving through the water. We just learned a lot of adaptations about a polar bear. Emperors of Antarctica. Emperor penguins are the largest of the penguins and live on Antarctica, growing to an average height of 3.8 feet. Their black and white bodies are well adapted to the cold, windy climate they call home. Emperors have a thick layer of fat under their skin to stay warm. Plus, they have 2 layers of feathers. On the inside, there is a fluffy, woolly layer, and on the outside, there is a waterproof layer of many small feathers. Penguins can't fly, but they are fast, agile swimmers, and they can also walk or waddle on their short legs. Their feet have sharp claws that get a good grip on the snow and ice. Better yet, emperor penguins can slide on their bellies over the ice like toboggans. That has to be fun. Each year, emperor penguins march their colony to their breeding grounds. The females lay 1 egg each and they pass it on to the males. The males incubate the eggs, keeping them warm on top of their feet. Incubate means to keep warm until they hatch. For 2 months, the males eat nothing, not a thing, and they care for their eggs. They huddle together in the freezing wind. Each penguin gets a turn in the middle of the huddle, where it is the warmest. An emperor penguin can live for more than 20 years, surviving in the coldest, windiest place on earth. They are amazing, but I can tell you what, I would never want to be one. Okay, I am going to stop there.